Ladies and gentlemen, there is one overwhelming reason why most people never reach the heights of success they dream of. One hidden force that quietly sabotages the efforts of the many while the few rise victorious. That reason is a lack of definite purpose combined with a wavering commitment to pursue that purpose with unrelenting persistence. Too many drift aimlessly through life without a clear, burning desire to achieve something specific. They wander from one distraction to another, waiting for opportunity to strike, hoping that success will somehow find them. But success is not an accident. It does not come to those who merely wish for it or dream about it. It comes to those who know exactly what they want, who define their goals with precision, and who commit themselves so fully that every thought, word, and action aligns with that goal. The human mind is a powerful magnet, drawing toward itself what it habitually dwells upon. If your thoughts are scattered, if your desires are vague, your efforts will be scattered and vague as well. Without a definite purpose, your energy dissipates like water spilled on dry ground, wasted and ineffective. It is the clarity of purpose that sharpens your focus and fuels the intensity of your efforts. But having a goal alone is not enough. The biggest reason people fail is because they give up too soon. They encounter obstacles, criticism, failure, and instead of pushing forward, they retreat. They allow fear, doubt, and discouragement to claim victory over their spirit. Yet every success story in history was born from persistence in the face of adversity. The winners are not those who never failed, but those who refuse to let failure stop them. Persistence is the bridge that connects desire to achievement. It is the ability to keep moving forward when the path is rough, to continue working when progress seems slow, to maintain faith when results are hidden from view. Those who fail do so because they lack this crucial quality. They quit when the going gets tough, settling for less because the struggle was greater than their will to persist. Moreover, the majority fail because they surround themselves with negative influences, people who discourage dreams, who mock ambitions, who sow seeds of doubt. The environment you choose profoundly affects your mind. If you allow negativity to dominate your mind, you weaken your resolve and cloud your vision. Success demands that you guard your mind vigilantly, feeding it with positive, empowering thoughts and surrounding yourself with those who inspire and uplift you. Another fatal mistake that leads to failure is a lack of self-discipline. Without discipline, even the greatest intentions fall apart. Discipline is the unseen force that makes you do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It turns desire into action, dreams into reality. Failure often comes to those who allow laziness, procrastination, or distractions to steal their time and energy. Lastly, most people fail because they do not develop a plan and take consistent action. Wishes and hopes are powerless without a roadmap. Success requires a clear plan, broken into manageable steps, and the commitment to take those steps day after day. Inaction is the enemy of progress. The successful know that movement, no matter how small, builds momentum. So the greatest reason most people fail can be summed up in one truth. They lack a definite purpose backed by persistent, disciplined action and the courage to push through adversity. They allow fear, doubt, negativity, and distraction to rob them of their potential. But you, if you choose to, can break this cycle. You can define your purpose with clarity, strengthen your persistence, build your discipline, and take bold, consistent steps toward your dreams. Remember, success is not reserved for the lucky few. It belongs to those who claim it by unwavering commitment and relentless effort. Decide today that you will be among the few who refuse to quit, who stand firm against every obstacle, and who pursue their definite purpose until victory is there. That is how failure is conquered and how greatness is born. Lack of definite purpose is one of the most common and devastating reasons why people fail to achieve success. Without a clear and focused goal, life becomes a series of aimless actions and scattered efforts that ultimately lead nowhere. Purpose acts as the compass that guides your decisions, energy, and resources. Without it, you drift like a ship lost at sea, vulnerable to every current and wind, never reaching any meaningful destination. When you lack a definite purpose, you find yourself pulled in multiple directions, unsure of where to put your focus. This lack of clarity creates confusion and hesitation, which kills momentum. Your mind becomes cluttered with distractions and conflicting desires, making it difficult to concentrate on any one task or objective. Instead of building towards something significant, your efforts become fragmented and ineffective. A definite purpose provides motivation that fuels consistent action. It is the why behind every effort, the burning desire that energizes you to wake up early, work late, and keep going when challenges arise. Without this driving force, motivation wanes easily. You start projects enthusiastically, but lose interest when results don't come quickly or obstacles appear. This cycle of starting and stopping saps your confidence and leads to frustration. Clarity of purpose also shapes your mindset and belief. When you know exactly what you want, your subconscious mind works to find ways to help you achieve it. Your thoughts, decisions, and habits begin to align naturally with your goal. This alignment creates a powerful internal momentum that propels you forward. Without a definite purpose, your mind lacks this focus and instead becomes a breeding ground for doubt, fear, and indecision. Another important effect of lacking purpose is poor time management. When your goals are vague or undefined, it is easy to waste precious hours on trivial matters or distractions. Time is your most valuable asset, and without a definite purpose to prioritize tasks, you risk frittering it away on activities that do not advance your progress. Purpose gives your schedule meaning and structure, helping you use your time intentionally and productively. Additionally, a lack of definite purpose weakens your ability to overcome obstacles. When difficulties arise, as they inevitably do, a clear and strong purpose acts as a shield against discouragement. It reminds you why you started and what you are working toward. Without this clarity, setbacks can feel overwhelming and cause you to abandon your goals prematurely. Purpose fuels resilience, encouraging you to learn from failures and keep moving forward. Many people fail because they confuse vague wishes or hopes with definite goals. Saying, "I want to be successful" or "I want to be happy" is not enough. Success and happiness are destinations, but you must define what success and happiness look like for you specifically. This means setting precise, measurable objectives with deadlines. Definite purpose is about commitment and clarity, not vague aspiration. The power of a definite purpose can be seen in the lives of those who have achieved extraordinary things. They all share one common trait: they knew exactly what they wanted and pursued it relentlessly. Their purpose was so clear that it dominated their thoughts and decisions. It became the foundation of their strategy, the source of their energy, and the reason for their perseverance. This unwavering focus is what enabled them to overcome obstacles that would have stopped others. Developing a definite purpose requires introspection and honesty. It demands that you look beyond fleeting desires and societal expectations to identify what truly matters to you. Your purpose must resonate deeply within your heart and mind, inspiring passion and determination. Once you have identified your purpose, write it down, visualize it daily, and build your actions around it. In conclusion, the absence of a definite purpose is a silent killer of dreams and ambition. Without it, your efforts become directionless, motivation fades, and obstacles become insurmountable. But with a clear, burning purpose, you gain the power to focus your energy, organize your time, resist distractions, and persevere through challenges. Definite purpose is the foundation upon which all great success is built. It is the light that guides you through uncertainty and the force that drives you toward your destiny. If you want to rise above failure and achieve your highest potential, start by defining your purpose with clarity and conviction, and let that purpose be the driving force of your life. Giving up too soon. Giving up too soon is perhaps the most common reason why so many people fail to achieve the success they desire. It is a silent thief that steals potential, dreams, and opportunities before they have a chance to fully develop. The path to achievement is rarely smooth or easy. Challenges, setbacks, and failures are inevitable parts of the journey. Yet, it is those who refuse to quit, who push through difficulties with unwavering determination, who ultimately reach their goals. To give up prematurely is to surrender the victory that may be just beyond the next obstacle. One of the greatest misunderstandings is that success happens quickly or effortlessly. This false expectation leads many to abandon their efforts at the first sign of resistance. When results don't come immediately, impatience creeps in and doubt begins to take hold. The initial enthusiasm fades, replaced by frustration and discouragement. Instead of recognizing that setbacks are a natural part of growth, many interpret them as signals to stop trying.
The truth is, persistence is the secret ingredient that separates those who succeed from those who fail. Every successful person has faced failure and disappointment, but what sets them apart is their refusal to let those experiences define them. They see failure not as defeat, but as feedback. Valuable lessons that guide them toward better strategies and renewed efforts. Giving up too soon cuts off this learning process and halts progress in its tracks. When you give up early, you deny yourself the opportunity to develop resilience and strength of character. Persistence builds these qualities by forcing you to confront adversity head-on. Each challenge you overcome makes you stronger and more capable. The mind and spirit grow through struggle, gaining confidence and courage. Without pushing through difficulties, you remain vulnerable to fear and doubt, which will continue to hold you back. Giving up too soon also wastes the investment of time, effort, and resources you have already made. Imagine planting a seed, watering it, and then pulling it out of the soil before it has had a chance to grow. The seed contains potential, but without patience and continued care, it will never become a tree. Similarly, your goals contain potential that can only be realized through sustained effort and time. Many people quit because they compare their progress to others or expect instant results. They see someone else's success and feel discouraged because their own journey seems slower or harder. This comparison breeds envy and self-doubt, which fuel the desire to quit. However, every person's path is unique, with different challenges and timelines. Success requires faith in your own process and persistence regardless of how long it takes. Another reason people give up too soon is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown. These fears can be paralyzing, causing hesitation and retreat. But true courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting in spite of it. Persistence means continuing forward even when fear is present, using that fear as fuel rather than a barrier. Furthermore, some give up too soon because they lack a strong enough connection to their purpose. When your goals are deeply meaningful and aligned with your values, you find the inner drive to keep going. Purpose provides the emotional energy needed to withstand hardships. Without this connection, challenges feel like unbearable burdens rather than stepping stones. To overcome the tendency to quit early, it is essential to cultivate patience and a long-term perspective. Success is often a marathon, not a sprint. It requires consistent effort, day after day, regardless of immediate results. Developing small habits of persistence, like setting daily goals and celebrating incremental progress, builds momentum over time. It also helps to reframe failure as a necessary part of growth rather than a reason to stop. Every setback carries a lesson that brings you closer to your goal. Embracing this mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities for improvement. Lastly, surround yourself with positive influences, mentors, peers, and supporters who encourage persistence and remind you of your potential. Isolation can magnify doubts and tempt you to quit, but connection strengthens resolve. In the end, giving up too soon is a choice, a decision to surrender instead of endure. But your greatest achievements lie just beyond that moment of doubt. If you will hold firm, push past obstacles, and persist with faith and determination, you will discover that success is not elusive. It is inevitable. Remember, the difference between failure and triumph often comes down to one simple truth. Negative influences are one of the most subtle yet destructive forces that prevent people from reaching their full potential. They creep into your life disguised as advice, opinions, or even casual remarks from those around you. While you might not realize it immediately, these influences can erode your confidence, dilute your purpose, and cloud your judgment. The company you keep and the environment you immerse yourself in have a profound impact on your mindset, motivation, and ultimately your success. One of the primary ways negative influences work is by planting seeds of doubt. When people around you constantly express skepticism or pessimism, it becomes easy to internalize those limiting beliefs. You can't do that. It's too hard, or you're not good enough, are common refrains that quietly chip away at your self-esteem. Over time, these messages become part of your internal dialogue, holding you back from pursuing ambitious goals or taking bold action. Negative influences also create a toxic environment where fear and hesitation thrive. Instead of encouraging growth and exploration, they foster comfort zones and safety nets. People who discourage your dreams may do so out of their own fears or insecurities, but the effect on you is the same: a shrinking of your vision and a reduction of your willingness to take risks. This atmosphere of negativity stifles creativity and undermines the belief that you can overcome obstacles. Moreover, negative influences can distort your perception of reality. They make challenges appear insurmountable and success seem unattainable. When you are surrounded by naysayers, your focus shifts to what could go wrong rather than what could go right. This mindset breeds anxiety and indecision, paralyzing you when action is most needed. The power of negativity lies in its ability to blind you to opportunities and solutions, keeping you stuck in a cycle of doubt and inaction. Another critical impact of negative influences is the erosion of your motivation. Success requires consistent effort, fueled by passion and enthusiasm. When you constantly hear criticism, ridicule, or discouragement, it drains your energy and enthusiasm. Motivation wanes, and tasks that once excited you become burdensome. This loss of drive makes it easier to procrastinate, settle for mediocrity, or abandon your goals altogether. It's important to recognize that negative influences aren't always obvious. Sometimes they come from close friends, family members, or colleagues who may not intend harm, but who fail to understand or support your ambition. Their doubts and concerns can feel like loyalty or realism, but if unchecked, they limit your growth. Learning to identify these influences and set boundaries is essential for protecting your mental and emotional well-being. On the other hand, positive influences act like fuel for your journey. They inspire confidence, reinforce your goals, and encourage perseverance. When you surround yourself with people who believe in you and your vision, you create a supportive network that lifts you during tough times. Positive influences challenge you to grow, offer constructive feedback, and celebrate your progress. This environment nurtures resilience and keeps your spirit strong. To break free from negative influences, you must first become aware of their presence. Reflect on how you feel after interacting with certain people or consuming particular media. Do you feel inspired or drained, empowered or defeated? This awareness is the first step toward reclaiming control over your mindset. Next, take deliberate action to minimize exposure to negativity. This may mean distancing yourself from toxic relationships, limiting time spent with pessimistic individuals, or changing your media diet. Replace these with positive sources of inspiration: books, podcasts, mentors, and communities that encourage growth. Another powerful strategy is to strengthen your inner dialogue. Affirmations, visualization, and meditation help you build a resilient mindset that is less susceptible to external negativity. When your self-belief is strong, negative comments lose their power to discourage you. Finally, remember that you are the gatekeeper of your mind. While you cannot control others' words or attitudes, you can control how much influence you allow them to have. Choose to focus on what empowers you, what aligns with your purpose, and what drives you forward.
In the end, negative influences are obstacles, not walls, that can be overcome with awareness, boundaries, and positive reinforcement. By guarding your mind,
and environment, you protect the fertile ground where your dreams can grow. The company you keep and the thoughts you nurture will determine whether you rise to greatness or fall into mediocrity. Choose wisely, for your success depends on it. Lack of self-discipline. Lack of self-discipline is one of the most common barriers standing between people and their greatest achievements. It is the invisible force that governs whether intentions turn into actions or remain just wishes. Without self-discipline, even the clearest goals and strongest desires fail to materialize because the consistent effort required is missing. It's the difference between dreaming about success and waking up every day ready to work for it. Self-discipline is the ability to control impulses, resist temptations, and maintain focus on long-term objectives despite short-term distractions. It requires delaying gratification and making choices aligned with your highest priorities rather than fleeting desire. When self-discipline is absent, procrastination takes hold, distractions multiply, and the resolve to keep pushing through obstacles weakens. One of the main reasons lack of self-discipline leads to failure is that success demands consistency. It is rarely achieved overnight or through sporadic bursts of effort. Instead, it requires steady daily action, often in small increments that compounds over time. Without the discipline to maintain this rhythm, progress stalls. The mind craves comfort and ease, but growth happens outside the comfort zone, where effort and sacrifice are necessary. Moreover, lack of self-discipline often results in wasted time and energy. The temptation to indulge in instant pleasures, whether it's social media, entertainment, or simply procrastinating, steals precious hours that could be invested in advancing your goals. These small, seemingly harmless distractions add up, creating a widening gap between where you are and where you want to be. Discipline acts as the gatekeeper, keeping distractions at bay and directing your focus to what truly matters. Another consequence of poor self-discipline is the erosion of self-confidence. Each time you fail to follow through on your commitments, you reinforce a belief that you cannot trust yourself. This lack of trust breeds frustration and lowers motivation, creating a vicious cycle where giving up becomes easier than pushing forward. On the other hand, practicing discipline strengthens your belief in your own abilities and builds momentum through small victories. Self-discipline also empowers you to overcome challenges and setbacks. When difficulties arise, it is discipline that keeps you moving forward instead of giving in to discouragement. Without it, obstacles become excuses to quit. Discipline fosters resilience, enabling you to endure temporary discomfort for long-term gain. It teaches patience, perseverance, and the ability to stay focused on your vision regardless of external circumstances. Developing self-discipline is not about harsh self-judgment or deprivation. Rather, it's about creating habits and systems that support your goals. It begins with setting clear priorities and boundaries, deciding in advance what actions will lead to your success and what distractions you must avoid. Planning your day, breaking goals into manageable tasks, and holding yourself accountable are key strategies to cultivate discipline. One effective approach to building self-discipline is through small, consistent action. Start with simple commitments that are easy to keep, then gradually increase the difficulty as your capacity grows. This builds confidence and trains your willpower. Over time, these habits become automatic, requiring less conscious effort and making discipline a natural part of your character. It's also important to understand that discipline fluctuates and everyone faces moments of weakness. What matters is not perfection, but persistence, the ability to get back on track each time you stumble. Forgive yourself for lapses, but don't let them derail your progress. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Finally, recognize the role of your environment in supporting or undermining your discipline. Remove temptations that lead to distraction and surround yourself with reminders of your goal. Positive influences and supportive routines create conditions where discipline can flourish rather than be constantly tested. In summary, lack of self-discipline is a silent obstacle that prevents many from reaching their potential. Without it, even the brightest ideas and deepest desires remain unfulfilled. But with discipline, you harness the power to focus, act, and persevere through challenges. It transforms intention into reality and turns dreams into achievements. Mastery of self-discipline is mastery of your destiny. It is the foundation upon which all lasting success is built. Absence of a clear plan. The absence of a clear plan is a major reason why many people fail to achieve their goals and fulfill their potential. Dreams and ambitions, no matter how grand or sincere, remain just wishes without a detailed plan to turn them into reality. A clear plan acts as a roadmap, guiding your steps, organizing your efforts, and providing a sense of direction amid the uncertainties of any journey. Without it, you risk wandering aimlessly, wasting time and energy on actions that do not contribute to your ultimate success. When you lack a clear plan, your efforts become scattered and inconsistent. You may find yourself jumping from one past another, trying different strategies without a coherent framework. This leads to frustration because progress is slow or invisible and important priorities get neglected. A plan provides structure. It breaks down a large goal into manageable steps, helping you focus on what needs to be done today, tomorrow, and next week. This clarity enables you to channel your energy efficiently rather than expending it in random direction. Moreover, a clear plan reduces overwhelm and uncertainty. Big goals often feel intimidating because they seem too vast or complex to tackle at once. Without a plan, it's easy to get stuck at the starting line, unsure of where to begin or what to prioritize. But when you map out the path ahead, the goal becomes more approachable. Each milestone achieved builds confidence and momentum, making the entire process less daunting. The plan acts as a mental anchor, keeping you grounded and motivated. Another critical benefit of having a plan is that it helps you anticipate obstacles and prepare solutions in advance. Life's journey is never without challenges, and setbacks are inevitable. Without a plan, these obstacles can catch you off guard, causing confusion and discouragement. But a well-crafted plan includes contingencies and alternative routes. It encourages problem-solving and adaptability, so when difficulties arise, you respond with resilience rather than panic or retreat. An absence of planning often leads to wasted resources, time, money, and effort. When actions are impulsive or uncoordinated, you may invest heavily in pursuits that do not bring you closer to your goal. This can cause exhaustion and disillusionment. On the other hand, a clear plan allows you to allocate your resources wisely, focusing on high-impact activities and avoiding unnecessary detours. It helps you measure progress and make adjustments, ensuring your efforts generate the maximum return. The importance of a clear plan is also tied to accountability. When your goals and steps are clearly outlined, it's easier to hold yourself responsible for taking action. Without a plan, procrastination thrives because there is no concrete schedule or checklist to follow. Planning creates deadlines and checkpoints that keep you on track. It transforms vague intentions into measurable actions, making success less a matter of chance and more a result of deliberate effort. Many people underestimate the power of planning because they mistake it for rigidity or control. In truth, an effective plan is flexible and dynamic. It evolves as you gain new information and experience. The plan is not a cage, but a compass. It points you in the right direction while allowing you to adapt to changing circumstances. This balance between structure and flexibility is essential for sustained progress. Creating a clear plan requires thoughtful reflection on what you want to achieve and why. It involves setting specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound SMART goals. Once you have defined your objectives, break them down into smaller tasks and sequence them logically. Determine what resources you will need and identify potential challenges. Then schedule your tasks and commit to regular reviews of your progress. In conclusion, the absence of a clear plan is a critical barrier to success. Without a roadmap, your journey becomes confusing, inefficient, and vulnerable to distractions and setbacks. But with a clear plan, you gain focus, direction, and the ability to navigate challenges with confidence. A plan turns dreams into actionable steps, chaos into order, and hope into achievement. If you want to transform your vision into reality, begin by crafting a clear, flexible plan that guides every step of your path forward. Fear and doubt. Fear and doubt are among the most powerful forces that hold people back from achieving their true potential. They act like invisible chains, restricting your mind and spirit, preventing you from taking the bold actions necessary to succeed. While fear is a natural response to uncertainty and risk, when it becomes dominant, it paralyzes progress. Doubt, on the other hand, undermines your confidence and clouds your judgment, leading to hesitation and missed opportunity. Together, fear and doubt form a formidable barrier between where you are now and where you could be. Fear often arises from the unknown, the what-ifs that flood your mind when you consider stepping outside your comfort zone. What if I fail? What if I am rejected? What if I don't have what it takes? These questions create a mental prison that convinces you safety lies in staying where you are, even if that place is unsatisfying or limiting. Fear convinces you that inaction is the safer path, but in reality it is a slow form of defeat that robs you of growth and fulfillment. Doubt compounds fear by attacking your belief in yourself. It whispers that you lack the skills, the knowledge, or the worthiness to succeed. Doubt sows seeds of uncertainty that grow into a forest of indecision. Instead of acting with confidence and clarity, you find yourself hesitating, second-guessing every choice. This hesitation creates a cycle where opportunities slip away because you fail to move decisively when it matters most. The tragic thing about fear and doubt is that they are often based on illusions rather than reality. Most fears never materialize, or if they do, they are not as catastrophic as imagined. Doubt is often a voice inside your own head, echoing past failures or external criticisms, but not grounded in your true capability. Yet their power lies in their ability to hijack your mind, convincing you that the worst-case scenarios are inevitable and your efforts are doomed. Overcoming fear and doubt requires a shift in mindset. The first step is to recognize them for what they are, temporary emotional states, not facts. Awareness allows you to observe these feelings without being controlled by them. When fear or doubt arises, remind yourself that they are natural but do not have to dictate your actions. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is acting in spite of fear. Successful people are not fearless, they simply refuse to let fear paralyze them. They understand that risk is part of the journey and that the greatest rewards lie beyond the discomfort of uncertainty. Every step taken despite fear builds confidence and diminishes its hold. Building certainty requires preparation and self-belief. The more you equip yourself with knowledge, skills, and experience, the less power fear and doubt have over you. Preparation strengthens your inner foundation and provides a sense of control. It also helps to set realistic expectations and understand that mistakes and failures are part of the learning process, not reasons to quit. Visualization is another powerful tool. Imagine yourself succeeding, handling challenges, and achieving your goal. This mental rehearsal builds a positive expectation and rewires your brain to focus on possibility rather than limitation. Affirmations and positive self-talk can counteract the negative messages that doubt feeds on. Surrounding yourself with supportive people who believe in you can also diminish fear and doubt. Encouragement and constructive feedback create a safe space where you can take risks and grow. Isolation, on the other hand, magnifies negative emotions and weakens resolve. It's important to break your goals into smaller, manageable steps. When the big picture feels overwhelming and fear creeps in, focusing on one small action at a time makes progress achievable. Each small success builds momentum and weakens the grip of doubt. Ultimately, fear and doubt are challenges to be faced, not enemies to be avoided. They test your commitment and courage. Those who learn to rise above them discover a new level of strength and freedom. They realize that beyond fear lies opportunity, and beyond doubt lies confidence. If you want to achieve greatness, you must be willing to confront fear and doubt head-on. Embrace them as part of the process, but refuse to be ruled by them. Train your mind to focus on your vision, prepare diligently, and act decisively. Remember, the greatest barrier to success is often not the obstacle itself, but the fear and doubt that stop you before you even begin. Choose to move forward anyway, and you will unlock the extraordinary power within you.